Hello and welcome back to the ETS World Championships. We're down to the wire now with just 2 matches remaining. 3 players remain in the tournament, and we are looking at 2 who have their lives on the line down in losers finals. We just watched Unearthly get 3-0 swept by Kamado in winners finals, and he is trying to defeat Sir Rhino, who's been fighting his way through the losers bracket from the very beginning. Both of them looking for a chance to challenge Kamado again. Joining me for this match is Gabe Calimdir, or Gabe/Calimdir, as he has been for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, hello. This is going to be another cool matchup. Xenon Control versus Ardenport. The winner of this, has to go on to fight Kamado on his FJS deck, which is a tough matchup for both decks, running 4 main deck Annihilate on both sides. But in this matchup, Annihilate is going to be pretty good for Sir Rhino, I think. Ardenport mid-range running only Tavrod as the only multi-faction unit, so a lot of targets there. And single target removal is pretty good against Bloodletter. However, Unearthly is not, this is not the old Ardenport mid-range. It's just Bloodletter, no Falchions. And he's got the Sabotages and the Protects to deal with some of that removal. So it should be interesting. I am slightly favoring Rhino because I think the Ardenport deck might not get off to a fast enough start. But definitely could go either way.
Yeah, we talked about those 4 Annihilates in the last match, and they're looking a lot better here. They've got a lot more targets from both sides, to be honest. So we may see those stay in.
Don't kill Champion of Mystery, though.
Very little can, I find. Slay, however, can, and Unearthly's packing a 4 set of those. So he does have some outs. Looking at the hands here, as I believe players are, they're just getting into the swing of things. Unearthly's got a couple of early drops, and Sir Rhino's got, he's got a Stray in his Shadow. And that kills most of the early plays in Unearthly's deck, unless they get weaponed up.
Yeah, Straight into the Shadow is going to be pretty good here. It doesn't really deal with Impending Doom, but that's okay. You have Sandstorm Titan, you have Banish, you have answers for Impending Doom. So I think this hand is lining up to be pretty good for Sir Rhino. Unearthly, without any Sabotages or Protects, just going to run all his threats out there into this Stray or a Banish. Unearthly, not known to overextend. He's a pretty solid player, as evidenced by him getting it this far and his success in other tournaments as well. So I don't think he's going to get punished too hard by a Stray, but there's a limit to how much he can do.
No, Rhino just setting up for that Stray, it looks like, with that just banishing the Impending Doom before anything too exciting could happen, rather than deploying a Steward or a Titan. Could get good value here. Probably just an effective 2-for-1 is good enough, I think.
Yeah, I think Stray here is good enough because you just have so much gas going on. If you play something I don't really want to play Titan because then Titan trades with the threats for the rest of the game.
He could play like Infuser if you wanted to take like a medium line. That's probably fine.
But what does that even do? Stop Instigator for a turn and then hope that Unearthly extends even more? But that's
it would survive the Stray, right? So it delays it a turn, and you can see what's going on with your opponent. That's not good if your opponent follows up with Tavrod, though.
Right.
Because then you're kind of committed to the Stray. So maybe just toss it out here.
Yeah, if you saw Unearthly's hand, I think the play would be Titan because that's going to force out the Valkyrie Enforcer. But obviously, this is, they can't see each other's hands. So he's going to go for that Waystone Infuser line, which I think is a safe medium, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Unearthly finds the Sabotage at long last. And there goes the Stray into Shadow.
Sabotage, a pretty good card. Definitely underplayed a bit. I don't know if everybody needs 4 of it, but in a tournament where you can, with open deck lists, it's definitely pretty powerful.
You can just jam the other Enforcer now, right?
I think so. Yeah. Now you've seen,
that's super bad into Sandstorm Titan, but your whole hand is super bad into Sandstorm Titan.
Yep. So now Titan's gonna come down and just ruin Unearthly's day, and as a Banish as well.
Unearthly's year is ruined. Everything's ruined.
Jeez.
It's all over, man. On the other hand, aReNGee does have a lot of ways to kill Sandstorm Titan, so it's not like it's the end if it comes into play. And Unearthly really does need to get some pressure on because he does not have a good late game hand. Not that his deck has a good late game hand ever. It just means he's stuck on power.
Yeah, so he's just gonna go and try to get some value of this Finest Hour, while Banish Mana is down.
Oh, is this just the double block and then the no Titan block? I like that.
Yeah, so
he can block
sniffs out
next
the
turn with
Finest Hour.
Banish up.
Yep.
Alright, so Unearthly super dead. Rhino did not bite on the trade. He was not able to get the Titan out of the way, and Unearthly's just not going to be able to climb this mountain, I don't think.
Yeah, anyone who thinks Rhino's not a good player, today he has made several like critical plays that have won him games. Just knowing when to hold removal and such, and how to.
Serrano's not a bad guy, you know. He may focus more on draft and constructed, but that doesn't mean he's a poor player by any means. It just means he's not necessarily known for his play with constructed decks quite as much. Although, top 3 at World Championships, maybe not the worst.
No, definitely not.
In terms of reading lines and things like that, it's definitely skills that carry over. And now it's just a long, slow grind of Unearthly dying to his own impending doom.
Yeah, and the Steward probably going to attack in pretty soon. Although at 11 is pretty bad for Sir Rhino. I would like to see Unearthly die to impending doom. That would be really spectacular.
I don't think we're going to get to wait 14 turns before Sir Rhino finds something.
Maybe Unearthly will get his Interrogator online and take 2 damage a turn, and we'll have to wait 7 turns.
Man, this sucks. Because it's just such a telegraphed, I'm forcing you to double block, and Unearthly does not have enough value to be able to ignore that attack. Unearthly knows something's going to get Varus favored, but he just...
Well, he can Finest Hour but that's really not a good trade.
I think he needs to, though. I thought this is on his opponent's turn.
Oh, it's only on. Okay.
Didn't use it. If he uses his Finest Hour, he's no out to Titan, I think is the problem. And then Titan just attacks in every turn. This is just...
Uh-oh.
This just sucks all around.
I think Banish Stray clears the board, and is that lethal? No, it's not. 1 off. Oh wait, no. Oh no. Steward saves Unearthly. No instigator triggers.
Maybe he's playing around Protect, I guess, by not pre-combat banishing. Unearthly's definitely gonna block the 5/2, right?
Yeah. That's the thing about Finest Hour and Protect. You just never know which one your opponent has. If you can fit both in the deck. Really, the trick is to play a deck that has Levitate, Finest Hour, and Torch all together, so your opponent just never knows what's coming at him.
What's that draft all-star, the -6, -0? I don't really know my card names.
-6, -0? What?
Something with a D.
Oh, I don't even know.
Detain.
But yeah, that's
Thank you,
that card, yes.
Yeah, you play Detain for extra mix-ups. Your opponent thinks you have an action spell, but instead you have Detain.
Hey, Detain's pretty good when you're trying to deal with deadly units, okay? Don't underestimate.
All right, so that was game 1. The players will be hopping back into it, and unfortunately, Unearthly loses his 4th game in a row.
Yep.
And it's going to have to jump right back into it. Players are back in game. So, what does Unearthly need to really overcome this kind of...
I think he needs the kind of Tinker Overseer, Instigator, into Interrogator, into Impending Doom start, Serrano not be able to answer it cleanly, like a turn 1 sabotage, putting out those threats, and then have like or have a protect and be able to put a bloodletter on an invasive threat and keep it alive. Because it's just really difficult.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Annihilates are pretty good. And he's got a threat-heavy hand again. Very heavy, looking at this. And Rhino's not coming out of the gate too fast. He does have an Annihilate, but Unearthly stuck on 2 until he uses that Varus Favor is kind of awkward.
He does have threats to play, which is good. He does get to play 2 Instigators and a Tinker Overseer, which if you're stuck on 2, that's pretty good. And if he draws an answer to Steward, he's going to be getting in a decent amount of damage. But instead, Serrano opts to, obviously, he just opts to play that Annihilate there. No other real plays that turn. And then, Steward versus Titan is an interesting choice. He's going to play the Steward because it's less, he doesn't care as much if it gets removed. 2 damage, not that big a deal. And it also kind of clears the way for Titan now.
He really doesn't want Titan to get silenced because he wants it to stick around as a, it was silenced or removed because he wants it to stick around as an answer to these flyers. Do you play it here, or do you just go with the Waystone Infuser?
I think because I just saw the silence come out, I would be tempted to, but obviously we know Unearthly has another silence, and I'm sure that's what Serrano's considering. Serrano's considering the option of, well, he didn't use Slay, he might still be holding that because Stewart's not that threatening or whatever.
Yeah, he was stuck on 2, has lots of cards in hand, Could be a lot of things. Does end up going for the Sandstorm Titan.
So this is the direction Unearthly wants it to go for him to win. It's definitely not completely in his favor yet, but it is heading that way. He is definitely winning this race.
He gets to hit for 5. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's 8. Banish not. Banish is gonna slow it down, but it's not gonna end the bleeding.
Yeah, Rhino in a position where he really needs to draw answers. He needs to draw another Annihilate. He needs to draw a Sandstorm Titan because he can't deal with what's going on right now with his hand. I mean, Mystic Ascent is pretty powerful, but not enough to get him out of this situation. So I do think Unearthly can take this game.
Oh, definitely. If he draws a power, he gets to play Impending Doom. If he doesn't, he gets to play Varus Favor, or Varus Favor with Instigator, and that's not bad. And it looks like Rhino is just preemptively banishing.
Yeah, and a deck with Sabotage and Sabotage you don't worry that much because Banish is fast speed. But
he's very worried about a Protect. Yeah. Oh, and that is a
Annihilate is great here.
So he's probably going to go for the aggressive line of Varus Favor, Annihilate the 3/5 attack for 8. Put his opponent down to 3.
Yeah, that might be the correct line.
I think it's better than attack for 5, play another Instigator. Okay.
He's
looking to win the game next turn.
Yeah, he wants to win the game next turn. I mean, he couldn't win the game this turn anyway. He wants to win the game next turn because if Rhino plays a Titan, he doesn't win if he had used that Annihilate.
Yes. I think that puts his opponent to 1. Okay. But attacking with that Titan, less good than when it has Endurance, since it's no longer free. And that should do it.
Yeah, so that attack may be a little bit of a mistake. I mean, in this scenario specifically, it was a mistake. But Rhino did need to turn to put some pressure on Unearthly to stop Unearthly from attacking in so freely. But either way, Unearthly takes game 2.
Which is huge for him, as he really needs that kind of bounce back. If I know Unearthly, he's already got his sideboards ready, so we're going to to try to talk about that as quickly as possible, looking at what sort of upgrades they have.
I think the extra protect is good.
Not an Oathbook matchup.
Not a Dark Return matchup.
Probably Vanquish, and then that's it.
Bartholo's actually not bad here because this is not Xenon with initiation, as I understand it, right? Yeah. But it does die to Varus Choice.
So the problem with Bartholo is that he has so few weapons in the main that you're sort of priced into also bringing an Oathbook, and then your deck's just sort of not great. So, or at least not well set up, because the Oathbooks don't really work well with the rest of your units unless you're very far ahead anyways. So it turns it into much more of a high roll and hope deck. So I imagine those will not be coming in.
Yeah, this deck.
Looking at Sir Rhino's side, he gets to bring in some Varus choices again, some more sabotages. We get some counter sabotage action. Devoted Thurge is probably pretty good. And Carnosaurs if you're feeling spicy. We'll probably see the Carnosaur for mystery swap that we usually see.
Yeah.
But not too different for both players. So once again, Unearthly's going to need a nice fast start backed up by a little bit of medium draw from Rhino for this to work.
Man, imagine if Carnosaurs were in the main board instead of you have to
instead
take
of
games off every time.
Champion of Mystery.
No, it's not a Mystic Ascendant. What are you talking about?
I mean, Champions of Mystery have got him this far, so I don't want to say anything bad right now.
But we get to see a Sabotage turn 1 by Sir Rhino, taking out a Vanquish. And then he's got a Varus Choice turn 2. Oh, man.
You were correct. The Bartholo did come in. I don't know if I agree with that. The Strays are still in, which is interesting.
I think Stray's okay. It hits literally... I mean, it hits everything except for Tavrod and Impending Doom.
Yeah, so it's the only go wide removal that you have. So I think it's fine. I just think that it's interesting that it's still in favor of more removal.
Maybe he brought in all of the removal. Huh? What do you know? Unearthly kind of wants to draw a little more power.
What do you take here? Tavrod, Bartholo, or Doom?
I think... so what does he have an answer to? Bard is kind of annoying because you don't know, like, if Unearthly has a Bloodletter or something. You can't see that with Varus Choice.
You do have a Carnosaur.
You do have a Carnosaur, so you don't care as much. And you do have a Sandstorm Titan, so I don't think you take Doom because you have two answers to it.
You know that your opponent has Slay, though.
Yeah.
From the earlier Sabotage, where he took Vanquish.
You know there's one power and a Slay. Okay.
So that makes Doom a little bit more annoying. I'd be inclined to leave the Tavrod and just say I'll deal with it later.
Yeah, Tavrod's the card that you don't have a way to deal with, so in that sense you want to take care of it. But Doom comes down at a way more relevant time, and you can't really
take Doom.
Damage. Yep.
Yeah, I think Bart's the least annoying of the three.
But that does give Unearthly a chance to do something with Bart if he can draw some power. And Sabotage takes that Stray, and now he knows there's no more removal.
Mm-hmm. But he also wasn't able to deploy anything that turn. So Sandstorm Titan's going to come down. It's going to get slain. And then Sir Rhino's in a bit of trouble because you know what Carnosaur does not kill? Tavrod.
Yeah, you bet. But Unearthly still needs to play Tavrod if he draws that 5th power.
Mm-hmm. Annihilate, reasonable stopgap measure. You can probably toss it out. You know the rest of his hand. Interesting. Decides to hold it. Well, didn't draw power. Just played Bart.
There's the Annihilate.
Playing around a second Impending Doom, I guess.
Varus Saber, also not bad, and now you can play the Carnosaur next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So Unearthly not in a great position, but this Tavrod can just win him the game by itself.
Only if he ever draws power. Now it cannot, as there was a Death Strike.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Rhino Death Strikes his Bart. You don't know.
Seems slightly unlikely.
You don't know, man. It's he's taking 2 damage a turn. That's a 6 turn
No,
clock.
it's not nothing. It's a 6-turn clock. Unearthly drew
wow.
another removal spell, and
And another Tavrod.
he really needs to draw that extra power though.
Yeah.
Rhino might be priced into death striking this at some point though, if
Yeah, he
Unearthly
might
just
be.
passes.
And he draws another power. Wow. How long can he hold on for? I mean, there's no obliterates in this deck.
All right.
Suffocates came in from Unearthly. Wow. There are targets. There's stewards and things like that. So.
There's some Seek powers. All right, please get no. So I think he should be going for Shadow Sigil to make sure that
Yeah.
his Champion of Mystery is turned on, but it's kind of a minor thing.
Yeah.
Problem is, you must Death Strike Tavrod, and then you got to draw something.
So finally, Unearthly with that 5th power plays the first Tavrod. Oh,
Get
wow.
it.
What a draw for Sir Rhino. Unearthly
That's
going to go play
something.
his 2nd Tavrod, and he has a Slay, though.
That's good.
Yeah, gaining a life there is good.
That's not good.
So if you're Unearthly, do you just Slay? And he drew an Instigator, so yeah, that's.
So yes, easy decision there. Both players playing quickly because not so many decision points, and Sir Rhino just needs to turn these 2-time sigils into a Stray into Shadow.
Wait, so does that put Unearthly ahead in the?
He is now up
5?
2-1.
Wow, that is okay. Unearthly
He's
really
turned it
trying
around.
to get back in there.
Yeah, and it's not like there was anything Rhino really could have done all that differently there. I still don't think post-board games are advantaged for Unearthly, but if he can clutch out one more, it's not. He has the tools with the protects and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's advantage for Sir Rhino, but as we saw, Unearthly can make it happen.
I'm with you. I find it a little interesting that his suffocates are in, but I imagine it's because he wants a more efficient way to deal with stewards.
Yeah, he
wants
to
feels
get
like
that.
His annihilates are a little overtaxed.
Yeah, he wants to get his aggression early and then just have tempo efficient removal. He just has. I don't think he has the early drops to support that kind of playstyle.
Really, Rhino keeps that hand?
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of power.
Or did he redraw into that and I just missed it?
I didn't see.
Because that's a little bit flooded.
Unearthly's hand, so he did bring in the Oath Books like you said he would if he brought in Bart. And I actually really like Unearthly's hand. He's got Sabotage, Instigator, Oath Book. Premium Oath Book looks pretty sweet, by the way. Backed up by an Annihilate and then an Impending Doom. That's pretty good. No Interrogator, which you would like, but it's fine.
It's okay. It's all right. Well,
he doesn't have a 3-drop is more what I meant. So he has to take a turn off.
Ooh, so does there's no way Vera's Choice takes the Instigator, right? You definitely take Doom?
There's a way. But he doesn't see. Yeah, you take Doom because you don't see Oath Book.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it doesn't show you Oath Book. Yeah, we see a lot of difference in between the amount of information given over by hand discard spells in Eternal as compared to something like a physical card game where you have to reveal the entire hand to make sure that they're not cheating, and the information that is hidden but needs to be inferred is really a key difference in a lot of matches.
Yeah.
Since now there's this 4/4 beating you down, and whereas you might have had time to build up to stop an impending doom, this demands a much more immediate answer than you currently have access to.
Oh,
well,
never mind.
There's an immediate answer. But do you? I think you banish the Oath Book, maybe. Nope. All right. Just gonna kill everything forever.
And that is a sabotage proof banished because it's just off the top of the deck. Second.
Oh well, good thing you didn't kill the Oath Book because there was another one coming. Yeah, and now Unearthly's on no threats versus a Carnosaur.
Sabotage cannot take that. Is not Treachery. Is not Vera's Choice. Treachery underplayed card, I think. But
Treachery was played in the event where it was not very good because nobody played units.
I played it on ladder.
Hopefully not in the spells turn into units event.
No, that's stupid.
The problem is that
play Carnosaur here.
Yeah, he can't. He needs to save it as a removal spell.
Yeah.
And now Unearthly can build up and then Probably taking the Annihilate.
Also, these strays aren't premium. That's
That's true, actually. Sir Rhino just totally punted on this one. So much for the fully premium decks of the last match. All right. Unearthly's up a match, or up a game. And
that's another one.
Up a game, and hopefully he can show this non-premium player the power of premiums.
This is a lot of nothing happening right now. One day, one of these players will play a card. A protect, not protecting anything at the moment.
That has to be good
really
for
hungry. For Rhino,
has to be good for Rhino though, because the only thing that Unearthly can draw that doesn't die is Tavrod.
Yeah,
but if Unearthly does draw Tavrod, he's in great shape.
So Rhino's racing towards that active champion of mystery.
Like, at what point do you just decide, all right, Predatory Carnosaur is getting played as a dude?
I mean, me, like a while ago, like several turns ago.
He probably doesn't want to expose it to a slave though, since Annihilate will get it anyway at this level.
Yeah.
Of power for both players. Second Annihilate's gonna go by.
Yeah. Unearthly's like, I've done this before. What's going on here? Oh, okay, finally.
You can play Carnosaur now. It's not gonna work because there's an Annihilate in Unearthly's hand, but you can play.
What? Okay, I don't know why you don't.
He was trying to bait with Slay, or with Stray into Shadow.
Oh,
because if Unearthly blocks.
Good at this game.
But Unearthly picked that up with the 3 sabotages that he threw at Sir Rhino's hand, including literally last turn.
Yeah, he
so
figured it out.
Didn't fall into that trap just yet.
Not like me.
Whenever your opponent makes a weird attack, they're usually either conceding or
wait. So
winning
Unearthly used Annihilate and not Vanquish there?
So Unearthly.
Oh, right, because it doesn't matter because of.
I guess he's worried about.
Okay.
I guess he was worried about Champion of Mystery.
Yeah, Champion of Mystery.
And wants an answer to that. Protect though covers up against the banish, and that's not good. Sir Rhino has missed his opportunity to play the Carnosaur, exposing instead the Titan. And that's a 1-turn clock. Rhino needs an answer now.
Yes, absolutely. Unearthly is finally out of protection for this impending.
So he could draw a power?
Oh.
No.
Vanquish, though.
Yes, so that is going to do it for Sir Rhino. Playing the Sandstorm Titan instead of the Carnosaur ended up costing him. He never played the Carnosaur.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's going to get Unearthly back into the grand finals where he has to win 2 sets against Kamado.
With a pretty convincing 3-1 comeback. I know we said we thought he might be a little bit disadvantaged in this match, but showing us what for. And Sir Rhino will be our third place in the World Championship as soon as this Vanquish resolves. And it does. And Unearthly running it back, trying to get revenge against Kamado. So congratulations to Sir Rhino on his 3rd place finish, but unfortunately his run ends here. And we will be transitioning into the finals match without any break this time. So we'll be getting that back up on screen shortly. So let's run over the decks in a bit more detail. One of these will be our